from a customer point of view, what people think about the solution. I do development, so product technical granularities. I've been a developer for some very complex business problems in planning. So written a code for IFRS 16 called lease accounting, extremely complicated code for over 400, 5,000, 4,000, 5,000 line as well. So technically also I go quite deep. First understand the entire problem statement, what problem you're going to solve. And then we go dig deep into uh, our solution specifically. Now, so we're going to go by certain analogy. Now, imagine you work for some automobile company. Let's say you work for Maruti India. Okay. You work for their manufacturing unit in Maruti India. So, as a customer, the car is a one product for a customer. But since you are into manufacturing unit, you know the car is not a one product. It's a collection of product. You buy engine from one company, you buy tires from another company, you buy other different products from different company. You assemble them, and the customer call is a one product. But for you, it's a different product. You assemble them, right? And all these products communicate to each other. And therefore, it's an integrated solution. It's not a one solution. So I give an example with my own career. So 10 years before, when I apply for a job, I say Amit Sharma, that was my job title. Technical consultant, Oracle planning, right? So why I'm giving you this? Because I'm trying to give an entire picture. So when I apply for this job, probably I've got 50 job offers. Job offer means say 50 opportunities I see, job opportunities. Because people wanted somebody who is Oracle planning technical consultant. That used to happen 10 years before, right? If I do the same thing today, probably I probably have zero. I don't see any opportunities. There are two reasons behind this. Okay. First, experience. Reach 20 years of experience naturally. No one is going to hire me for technical consultant, and no one wants to hire me exclusively for planning. Correct. What I'm trying to say. But the industries change. Now people wanted somebody. This is exactly the industry demand is. Okay. And therefore we need to prepare ourselves. At the end of the day, you're applying for a job, you're doing job hops, or you're going to manage your product, manage your project, you're doing technical support, whatever you do. Okay. So people are looking for somebody who understand business, probably at least 20, 10, 20%, let's say worst case, basic information about whatever business you're going to work for. Obviously, technology, right? So technology is what people are going to hire only for planning consultant for 20 year experience. Obviously not. Okay, is a one integrated solution. Then past 10 years, what has happened? Let's see with a graph. Okay. Past 10, 15 years, where we are heading. The entire solution is heading to the intersection of, and this determines our training, learning curve, and the way you're going to spend time. Okay. So before Oracle Cloud solution, if I look at the intersection of technology and business complexity, okay, so I draw on to this represent technology complexity, how complicated was technology, and this determines the business complexity. Correct. Technology business complexity. What has happened in past 10 years before, the technical aspect was more complicated, and I spent time and money more into, I mean, most of my energy I spent, me or a company or product, they spend more in solving business technology problem. This segment we used to work. Correct. And now the product is shift from technical complexity to business complexity. So technology complexity reduced greatly and business complexity increase in the other way around. And therefore your skill should be aligned accordingly. Probably if you are excellent Groovy programmer or Java programmer, excellent, great, right? But that is one skill, that is only one skill which can help you. So it depends upon your career where you are leading toward. If you're beginning of your career and you're a typical IT guy, this is where you're supposed to focus. If you're 5 to 10 year experience, you need to have a prudent combination of, this is what I'm talking about, trade-off between the business knowledge, business, not solely business knowledge, plus technology knowledge. This graph is a good trade-off between your experience. As you gain more experience, whichever your career curve you are, let's top to down, your focus, your understanding should be a combination of technical and functional understanding. So if you spend 20 years, I'm at this part of my career, plus 20 plus year. People are expecting me to know technology, of course, right? But they are expecting me to build a solution where I can do advisory services. I'm into more advisory service. Correct. So what I'm trying to say, if you're new to completely in technology, probably you have 2 3 years of experience, probably learning one two little bit about technology that works well for you. But sure, EPM is not a kind of product. They don't hire 1 to 2 year experience guys. So most of you, I assume, fall under this category, at least this category. And therefore, the way this is how I build the training program to cater students and the solution, keeping this area in mind. So we have a prudent combination, technology and business both. Neither I'm going to prepare you excellent job, you know, programmer exclusively on planning. Now we're talking about complete business. We'll use a combination of both of them. That's the area I'm going to work on. Okay. Now let's see where is the problem. What problem we're going to solve. This diagram I drawn few minutes before. Correct. So let's look at the big picture of Oracle planning. Look to the big picture. So now imagine my customer has, from where the journey starts, customer procure the license, right? So let us say my customer problem, and we align problem with our technology solution. So one of my customer, let's say they are into manufacturing business and they have, or probably they have multiple business line. And one of the business is manufacturing business split across different part of the globe. They want to streamline their financial activities. So I'll put this boxes, these cubes are airspace cube or an engine. I'm putting 5 engine. Right. So my business is using Oracle EPM product to solve different business problem. First problem they want to solve. They would like to know, these days, customer acquisition cost is so high, right? Self-explanatory, acquisition cost, right? In a simple layman word, I say to have new customer, to add new customer. This is the reason many businesses are getting failed, right? One of the reason to add new customer, it cost me $1, correct? And to the entire lifespan of a product, let's say $100 to add new customer, and the customer lifetime value, the lifetime value in the entire product. I mean, let's say customer is engaged with us for 1 year, the revenue I get $80. So there's a stupidity to add new customer. That is what is happening in many businesses. Like all the entertainment business are going through in that way. Yeah. So if the customer stays with me for 1 year, then I earn only $80. If the customer lifetime value is more than 1 year, probably I earn 100. So $80 per year is my customer lifetime value per year, customer value, lifetime per year value. Okay. So minimum I should engage my customer for 2 years, $160 then I get. Okay. I want this kind of analytics, right? My customer getting dropped. Let's say typical subscription based business. Okay. I give you real life example. Zoho, most of you have heard of, right? They are providing subscription-based software business, right? Or cloud-based software business. In this business, some of the product, see this, some of the product, okay, they're offering in 750 rupees per month. Have you heard that? 750 rupees, right? Not less than $10. Who can compete with them? Can any company compete with them? Impossible, impossible, right? 750 rupees per month. So customer wanted to solve this problem. So I built one software, I built one analytical solution exclusively to handle this problem. We call Cube, right? This is Cube or an engine. So all this calculation, who is going to do that? This is going to be done at space. Okay, so what is planning and budgeting? There are two solutions we need to do it. First, first problem we're going to solve. How do I know whether I'm getting a loss, $20 loss by per customer? So I'm doing reporting and analysis. First thing, reporting and analysis. When I looked at my data, I found I have a $20 loss if the customer is retained with me for only 1 year. So to address this problem, uh, we build one application, reporting analysis. The second is, oh, what if the same, let's say 20, this is happening with 20% customers. This is happening with 20% customers. This is a real example. This is exactly what is happening in Indian banking systems. They do not have adequate cash, right? Then the second problem, what if this continue to happen in future? What is planning and budgeting? We have two products. Reporting analysis is one problem we're going to handle, but we are primarily going to handle what planning means future. What if this continue to happen? I write double if to show the condition. So to solve this problem, we need a planning and budgeting solution. So I have one problem. My customer is also want to handle another problem called procurement. Procurement, there's a procurement department, purchase department. Okay. I need procurement analytics and planning and budgeting. Procurement analytics. Okay. So I have all multiple vendors, and what is happening? The price is dynamic. So suppose I buy one product in $1. I put it over here, keep writing all the problem. Customer analytics, customer acquisition analytics, one problem. Procurement. So some product, I put 1,000 products, 1,000 vendors, okay, and I buy 10,000 raw material. Now imagine the combination of this. So some raw material I buy from some vendor at T1 time, the price is different. T1 time I buy product from vendor one, right? How complicated it is. At T2 time, I buy the product from vendor two because the price is dynamic and continue change. So it's a daunting job. It's a complicated job. So we build one more queue for procurement analytics. And again, we do planning and budgeting. The third problem I'm going to solve is employee attrition, right? The more attrition I have, the more attrition I have got, there's a certain cost of onboarding. We'll discuss this in workforce planning. The attrition cost, more employees are attrition, we have high onboarding cost, overall cost. There's one analytics I like to do it. Okay. The third problem we're going to handle, fourth problem, we're going to handle financial analytics. This is another area we're going to work on. So financial analytics, let's say any kind of balance sheet, I like to see my future profit loss statement, cash flow, balance sheet, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then I'm going to handle another problem called product profitability. Product. This is all real life exam, profitability. Right? All of you must have heard of Ford has closed the business operation from India. Do you think it's a stupid company? They exit from Indian market. They are the most smartest company in automobile industry, the Ford, in my view. Why? Because they projected the real life planning. They projected that Indian automobile industry is going through financial distress. They did real time analytics, they did, and they quit from Indian market. So to solve these 5 problems, I have 5 different cubes, and all these 5 different cubes I assembled or put them into one application. And I would give a name of this application, whatever name you like to give. Okay, I would give the name, let's say, Financial, it is possible I could have 2, 3 application as well. I'm trying to make it things simple. So I give this name of the application fin analytics, financial analytics. At the end of the day, everything is money. Financial analytics I create. So in your application, you can have multiple cubes. Correct. Now I'm talking about technical and business architecture both together. On top of this, we have one more database. I'm sure it's extremely rare. At least I do not know any product which uses multiple databases. So we're using one more databases on top of over here to solve this problem. One is Cube, where actual business logic, calculation, all the business logic, calculation we discuss will be happening over here. Then we have one database called Oracle database, right? So this is a relational database called RDBMS. And this is, so S-Space Cube or this engine is designed to store numeric data. We do all numeric analytics. Okay. But in business, in planning, budgeting, we have non-numeric data as well. That is called supplemental data. Okay. Or in simple word, there are textual data. So all textual data, information about customer complaints, where do you store customer complaint? Annotations, we call a term annotation or comments, customer comment, employees, all this textual data we store in relational database. And on top of this, we have one common user interface, which you call planning application, right? So what you call planning application, PBCS, EPBCS, whatever word you like to call. I use the term called planning, Oracle planning application. So planning application is the user interface, correct, where user going to communicate with you. What is two different color I'm going to use? A blue color for metadata, blue color the data. To store data, and I use a green color to store metadata. And this is metadata. I assume you know metadata and data. Customer name is a metadata. Customer bill is a data, right? Or in workforce planning, employee personal detail is your metadata. I use green color, is the metadata. Personal detail, name, address, phone number, and or employee salary detail is the data. I use blue color. So your salary, your bonus, additional earning, all these are supplemental earning, taxes. This is data. So we use two engine, one Oracle database to store metadata, and blue is the metadata and green is the data. Other way around, sorry. Blue is the data, green is metadata. We use two databases. In this system, what is marked with gray color? I would mark with a box. I'm putting everything to gray color. This gray color entails, this is cloud hosting. So you don't have to bother about it. Oracle is responsible to manage our infrastructure. This is none of your business because you are paying Oracle to do this job. What is cloud? This is cloud hosting. When precisely it is Oracle cloud hosting. So you don't have to bother about how the data is getting stored, how patch is being applied, backup, recovery, application maintenance. Only you are responsible for this part. Okay. This, what is marked in gray color, to be managed by Oracle. You are only going to handle this application related task. Okay. So that's what it is. Now, there are different types of users we have in an application. I draw primary 3 category of users. It means what is happening in gray color to be managed by Oracle, you will only be bothered about writing business logics. This is the product is also maturing, right? As we learn with time, product also learn with time. That is what I said. We fall under this category. You need to have adequate knowledge about technology and adequate knowledge about business. Okay. So you don't need to be an excellent programmer. Fortunately, these days you're good at programming. This is good, but this is only one aspect of it. So there are three kind of users we have, right? You're going to communicate. So first is your primary job role, the one you have been doing for past many years. We call service administrator. It's an administrator, so it's a 100% technical job, right? You like to do this job. So when you're into application support, probably your junior resource, 4, 5, 6 year experience, that would be your doing this job, technical job. Okay. The third job, second job is for power user, right? So power user are often they are from business and trained on technology. Trained on technology. Correct. It means they are accountant, budget manager, and all. They know business, they fall over here. But they're more inclined towards business. They're coming from business. We train them on Oracle planning so they can do basic job on their own without any IT support. I mean, it's not high core IT. The third class of users we are into, third class of user. These are the absolute end user. Absolute end user, right? Generally, we call viewer and user. The two terminology is used, three kind of users. So these are the business guys, business users, and they are not bothered. They don't have a time to play with numbers. They want actionable data, right? If I'm a CFO, CEO, or a director of finance, I don't have a time to look at every granular detail. I want data which is quickly actionable. I can take some decision on top of that. For them, there is a dashboard, correct? Now, so you guys, if you are coming from business, you are ERP consultant, you have been working into kind of profile will coming to business, then probably you can play this role, right? You can play this role. But the area we are going to talk about in between both of them, we're going to walk into this area, this area. I'll put it over here. So I'll be talking about application administration, right? That is what our primary job. We are going to application administrator. We are owner of the application. Plus, you would be also running through business processes. So if I teach you what planning does, but you do not know how it is being used by users, I mean, it's a half of the story. To get the entire picture, we will be working in between both the job roles. We'll be knowing both part of it. Let's go back to this technical architecture a little more. The architecture is designed in such a way that when you communicate to the planning application, right? Suppose I'm doing two jobs. Imagine the first action I'm doing it. I'm adding, I use two different color, green color. Look at the color itself is self-explanatory. First action, I'm adding new customer and it is sourced from ERP. From ERP, I got one customer and I'm adding this customer. This action, there's a very simple interface. Even a fifth class student, forget about fifth class student can do this job. I'll give you a document with a screenshot. You can do this job in 2 minutes. Even a fifth class student can do this job. It's so simple. Application interface design simple so that anybody doesn't require high IT complexity you want to reduce day by day. That's first. So any action you do over here, you go to application, you right click, add, that's it. It's done. Okay. The second job, we do it, I use a blue color. Suppose you're loading, you added a customer, right? Now you're loading, adding or loading customer invoice or a bill. There are two different tasks. This is more data driven. Loading customer bill, customer name, customer address, how many product they have purchased, unit cost, blah, blah, blah of the product. This is data. So every time you add data, it goes, I did that mistake. Correction. Sorry, I overlooked that. How come? Data being stored directly. Correction. Data system is going to write directly. Metadata goes through. So I'm going to correct my mistakes. So metadata, every time you write, it goes via relation database. Once again, uh, any metadata change, we are adding new customer is called metadata change. Right? That is the one of kind of job you do. Every month you have new customer, new product. Obviously, that's a part of your application maintenance job. Adding new customer, it always stored in relation database, followed by the Oracle space queue. That is how the architecture design. And data directly stored in your space queue. Like you're loading customer invoice, that goes to space queue. So this is your technical architecture. So all the activities I'm going to talk about, you will be playing primarily service, your primary service administrator, right? You're going to apply, but somewhere you also play a role for power user. We guys are not going to do any of the job. This is none of our scope. We don't work in that. I'm not going to teach you to be an accountant or controller or budget manager. That's not your job. Okay, we will be limiting to the entire scope. Okay, now let's go back to the big picture. So the story starts, probably this is in the past also I said this, we'll see this once again. So nobody wants to buy this product. When you start your company, do you want to buy EPM? Do you buy the EPM? No, not at all, right? Every product has an adaptability when any product is being acquired. Okay. So probably when you start your career, I mean, this applies in real life as well. You start your career until you get a very hefty salary. You don't like to buy a car in the first day itself. You start with buy your bike and then you use it when you go for a car. Is exactly what it happened. So any business, when you look at the context of time, or that this I show growth. Growth could be in terms of revenue, in terms of headcount, in terms of average order size, depends upon average seat occupancy, the kind of business you're working for. And this is timeline. Any business in the world, right? So this is typical business. This is how it works. I put a little more extensive timeline. Okay. That's how your business work. Something like that, right? So with time, you start your business and at different stages, the business, you have put certain benchmark that your revenue cross $100,000, number of employee cross 500,000, you are a group of companies, something like that. So I'm putting some image where your business got flattened, something like that. Okay. And by here, we assume your company into, by here you are a group of company, something like that. This event we are talking about. Okay. So in my assumption, this is the event where you are become a group of company. Right now, your group of company, you have 5 companies. Okay, and you reach revenue for X amount, which you declare the benchmark. Okay. So when you start your business, you don't need an Oracle EPM. People don't buy this product. People don't buy any software product. Right. So this is your journey. So at T1 time, from T1 time, you can tag it T1, T2, T3, T4. T4 times we have. T5 time, T1 time, T2 time, something like that, T3, T4, and T5 time, right? Why you bother about it? So when I started business, I don't need this product for sure, right? But I don't need a planning budgeting? Of course I need a planning and budgeting. People use spreadsheet based, businesses use spreadsheet based means Excel based. Excel based planning and budgeting they do. And you also do this, right? When you, until you are super rich, you want to buy a house, you don't go to the market and buy a house like that. You do some planning. So corporate do the planning budgeting from T1 to T4 time. But when your business is grown up to a certain extent, let's say your business has grown up in certain way, right? So grown up by some parameter you put that your business will reach by X amount. So T5 time you cannot use Excel anymore. Why? Excel isn't good. Excel is an excellent product. Excel is a world most widely used tool in the world for planning and budgeting. Widely used tool. But still you cannot use Excel because at T5 time your business has grown up and you reach to the Excel limitation on certain factor. So Oracle use the fancy term. What fancy term Oracle use? So my definition of Oracle planning is what? It's a replacement of spreadsheet based planning. That's it. Non-official definition, spreadsheet based planning. So we don't go and reinvent something. I don't go and bring something from the sky, right? Whatever business user would have been doing in planning, I do the same thing, but in more sophisticated, organized manner, right? So Oracle definition for Oracle planning. This is my definition of Oracle planning. So Oracle use a definition for collaborative planning. So this is integrated, collaborative. This is sugar coated corporate vocabulary. Collaborative planning. And they also use a best practice planning. What is it exactly? So T5 time we buy this product. It means whatever I do at T5 time, I don't do anything out of the world. Whatever people would have been doing from T1 to T4 time, I do the same job. But we do the same job in more structured, organized, streamlined, and integrated fashion. The second problem, why people companies are bound to buy our product. Bound. Not Oracle, any vendor product, but they bound to go to EPM. Okay. What is this time? T5 time. Correct. This time. Now imagine I'm a group of company, right? I started my business with one company and I keep on acquiring. Look at the example of Tata Group. So Tata Group, I put over here one company called Tata Motors, Tata Consulting. Then they have a joint venture with some other company like PepsiCo. Then Tata Motors has interned two company, Tata Commercial Vehicle, Tata Passenger, TCS. So all these companies are operating in different geographical location, different currency, different accounting compliance. I don't bother about it because in when you work in Oracle planning, you are users here. This we are catering on internal customers. Let me highlight this very, very clearly. We work for internal business user. This should be on top of your mind. Internal business user, it means I'm not creating a solution for external governing bodies. But if you're working on other product like FCCS, you are working for external governing bodies. So I mark with a big font. We work for internal business users, right? You don't have to bother about it. Okay, so in this story, uh, we are a group of company. Okay. Tata Group is keep on acquiring. Let's say Tata Group acquire another company called Mat Plus. Recently, it has happened. The challenge over here is that different companies, these are the independent companies, right? But they're part of one group called Tata Holding, Mat Plus and all. So ERP work at this layer and individual entities to perform their day-to-day business operations, accounting, HR, payroll, whatever, right? Warehouse management, order processing, they do it over here. We work at this layer. We work. The irony over here is that a little confusing, but I'll go little detail into this. Oracle planning can work over here as well. Oracle planning can work at individual company as well. Okay. Oracle planning. But Oracle planning work over here as well. If I give you an analogy, now imagine I buy a luxury car. I have a Audi car or Benz car, Benz BMW car I purchase. Now I purchase BMW car. I can use this car. I can use it for two purpose. I can use this car as a passenger car. I use this car and I travel with my family, right? Or I can use this car as a goods carrier. Isn't it stupid? The product is good. The product is designed for passenger car. I can use it as a luxury car. But if I use this car as a goods carrier, it's a stupidity. Who is stupid? Product or a consumer? Consumer is stupid, right? This is what I'm trying to say. Oracle planning can be used at individual ERP layer, but this is product is a beautifully designed to solve problem at group of company, right? So the first challenge you face, you probably have a multiple ERP system, right? One or maybe multiple ERP system. And to do planning and budgeting, right? They need to have a data from different ERP system. So from there, you put data into our data governance layer, and then it comes to EPM, ERP, EPM ecosystem. So as an EPM consultant, I don't bother about this job, right? How ERP is working, how data governance is being set up. This is none of my business. I don't bother about it. But I'm only bothered about it, how to get data from there, right? So if your vendor is Oracle, let's say using Oracle ERP, then your life is easy because you're using Oracle ERP and Oracle EPM. Data acquisition is so simple, which I shown over here with the green arrow. Okay, we don't need a complex data integration. Data integration complex job, correct? But if you're working for a group of company like this, so many subsidiaries, you have data from different ERPs, localized ERPs, Tally, QuickBooks, Zero, getting data from Excel sheet, mainframe, social networking site, then it is a very, very daunting job, right? But you don't handle it, right? You are not going to do this job. That's none of your business. So there has to be a data governance layer. In the old days, we used to have a data warehouse. Okay, I'm talking about one of the most complicated scenario. So your job starts from this part. Business is responsible to provide you consistent data, and then you do over here. So what I simple mean is why the data governance layer is required. Imagine from your ERP system, you're getting incorrect customer name. Your customer name is incorrect. It typo. It's a tiny problem for them, but the consequence is that your planning and budgeting is meaningless. Whose responsibility is it? It is business responsible to provide you consistent data. So this we don't look after this part. This is none of my business. My job starts from here. One data come into our system, then we do planning and budgeting. So what do we do planning and budgeting? Let's go. I have one Excel story and we use this Excel story. This is so much interesting. Seriously, if you learn planning and budgeting is a life changing, life changing skill. Every real time decision I do planning and budgeting. Right. Now let's take a real life example. So in planning, we use three vocabulary. Okay. We use a corporate vocabulary called direct data input. Second vocabulary we use called driver-based planning. And third vocabulary is trend-based planning. First two of them you already know that you have been using in your day-to-day life. Okay. So now take this. What is direct data input? Direct data input. It means whatever you're doing in Excel, you're replacing this replacement of Excel. Okay. Now what is direct data input? Let me take one real life problem statement. Okay, I have one Excel sheet which I got from a customer. I massage it. So these people, what they do, what is planning budgeting all about? Cost controlling, cost controlling. If you don't plan your monthly expenses, your expenses will be more than your salary. Obviously, right? So they use Excel sheet like this. Okay. And I'm going to make it very simple. Different types of expenses they have. My planner comes and put the number over here. Okay, what does it mean? In the month of April, uh, both April 20, 26 and 25. I'm doing forecasting of my next year, next month, April month, I'm going to hire 4 employees and my hiring cost is 4 employees multiplied by each employee hiring cost is $1,000. This is my $4,000 is my employee cost. I'm manually putting the numbers, not even 4,000. I directly put 4,000. Right. I have Excel sheet where I'm inputting number. So in first solution, we offer customer direct data input where I've written. It means whatever you have been doing in Excel, continue to do the same thing, but this time use my product called replacement of Excel. Okay. Second is called driver-based planning. Is it new to you? Not. Let's say I'm going to buy a house. Okay. I'm going to buy a house and I don't know what could be the EMI. Will I be able to afford or not? So I put certain assumptions. Look at the new term we are using, assumptions, drivers. This is my first assumption. I'm putting some, there's so many assumptions, we put some relevant assumption. House cost, I can afford house up to 50 lakh rupees in Indian rupees. Okay. Then I put some house location. Then I put my other assumption, size, house size. Okay. Then I go for, I mean, house cost, let's say 80 lakh rupees, 50 lakh. And I would do down payment, or you pay from your saving, pay from saving. You can pay 30 lakhs from your saving. I put it over here. I mean, I put certain assumption and I'm going for a house loan, home loan of 50 lakh rupees, right? So that would be, in a corporate term, we call interest expenses. This is my assumption. I'm going for 50 lakh rupees home loan. As of today, the home loan interest is 8.65 from HDFC, ICICI Bank. And I'm taking this home loan for 20 years, correct? And in the bottom, this is going to my EMI. So 52% I pay as an interest. Oh, and 50%, 52.5 is the interest and remaining is your principal, 47.5. This is my EMI. This is my total interest paid. This is total interest. And here, look at the beauty of it. In a corporate, this is actually, in a finance term, it is called amortization schedule. Amortization schedule. You can prepare this sheet in Excel, PPMT function. So nothing so fancy. So this is where I can see my total EMI would be 43,867. Out of this month, total EMI 36,000 would be my interest. This is my principal. Month over month, I can see. Right? This is planning. Why? This is driver-based planning. Why? Because my EMI is a dependent variable. It is dependent on the loan interest. Suppose the interest got revised. What if the interest is going to revise by 0.25%? This is what happened last month. Reserve Bank of India, the repo rate decrease. So my EMI is going to impact this EMI. So EMI is subject to interest rate. EMI is subject to loan amount. EMI is subject to my loan tenure. This terminology is called driver-based planning. Driver planning. And what are the driver in this case? All these are drivers. Home loan amount, loan tenure. My drivers are loan tenure, loan amount, interest rate, like that. Then mathematics we used to call dependent and independent variable. We can do regression on top of this. In Oracle vocabulary, I call driver-based planning. We also use a term called trend-based planning, where the name indicates trend-based planning. Look at another real-life example. So I'm sure all of you are aware what is happening in industry these days. There are a lot of industry is going through a significant uh, shift, right? The shift is happening. And economy is a downturn trend. And you can see this real life. This is my YouTube video channel. And I show you the earning from my YouTube, where the trend is dependent on that. There's a trend option you see. First, you look at the trend, my trend. What do you see? Every Saturday, Sunday, there's a decline, correct? And I can probably create a correlationship between this decline. And I would show you for 360 days. This is real time it is happening. You see, there's a decline in my revenue, 12% decline. So it was higher and then decline. So now by looking at this pattern, first I can see the pattern Saturday, Sunday, there's a decline in my revenue. Second, I see there's a decline happening by some percentage, 12% decline. So if I have this pattern, I can do this projection for next 6 months, 12 months, 10 months, 15 months. That is what trend-based planning. You prepare trends. Okay. So in a simple word, I could say I like to see trend for what you call average order size. I'll take an average order size. I'll do analysis for last 36 months. And based on this average order set trend, last 36 months, I can take an average of this last, and I can do the projection for planning for next, planning or forecast for uh, next 24 months. I can do planning. So three corporate vocabulary we use in planning and budgeting. Right? So the entire training program is built on top of that. Okay. You have 4 more minutes. So you see, this is the solution which I shown you over here. This has various problems we are solving: product related, customer related, employee related. This is very complicated to manage for technical and business point of view both. Assume this solution I'm building is a custom solution. Oracle use a PBCS, or it's a custom solution. So custom solution PBCS mean planning and budgeting cloud service. Correct. But probably the implementation time for this is 12 month implementation time. Now imagine you try to implement this same solution 10 years before, but it failed, right? You spend 18 months, right? You spend $600,000 as the owner of the company, but the outcome is failed. Technically, it is successful, but failed to meet users' expectation, business expectation. Okay. So probably you can claim that it's working successful, but in my view, it is failed. Right. So I lost 18 months. I lost $600,000. It's a very low amount I mentioned. It's actually more than that. And it failed to meet. What is my impression? I would never look at this. I really hate it. But 10 years later, again, I need it. I need it also, right? I cannot get rid of my business without that. So Oracle is a smart company. I always use this term. Oracle is smart not because they're technically, they are very smart in terms of business. Okay. So this is the business is run by some of the most smart people in the world, right? I've been doing the job with them, business with them. So Oracle, what Oracle said? Oracle said, okay, we understand 4 key problems. There are more than that, and we are focusing on 4 key problems. So we give you ready-made solution, ready-made product, right? Ready-made solution, right? And which you can tailor ready-made solution. You can tailor it, customize to some extent. So I cannot measure to what extent. Unfortunately, this is a limitation. I cannot tell you 1 kilogram customization you can do it. There is no measurement unit. 1 liter or 1 kilogram, I can customize. So this is funny, but that's not possible. Yeah. So 4 problems we are going to solve for you. Ready-made solution, I give it to you. There are more than 4, but we are focusing on 4. Financial planning, right? So in our solution, we have financial planning. Yes, financial planning. I'll create a separate application for this. The divide and conquer, right? Dividing the problem into small chunks. We provide you ready-made solution for workforce planning. The name indicates we use salary and expense planning, employee expense planning, salary expense planning. At the end of the day, it's a money. Third problem we're going to solve, give you pre-built product called capital budgeting, capital expense planning, right? And the fourth problem, we are going to give you ready-made solution for project manager planning. So 4 different problems we're going to solve. And this is what we're going to learn. There are other templates as well. We are not learning them. It is impossible to learn everything. I mean, the knowledge, the amount of time and knowledge you need to observe this is more than your lifespan, your career span at least. Okay. After spending 20 years, I still feel sometimes uncomfortable. 20 is not the kind of job I do day in, day out, 6:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock. That's the kind of job I do. But still, I cannot reach to the next end of it. The other template as well, I put it with a gray color, which we are not talking about, but they exist. Okay. The called cash flow planning, recently new template, cash flow planning for Cash flow planning, which is highly liquidate business. Liquidity planning. We are planning for CRM. CRM product you would have heard of, or sales quota planning. Right? These are two templates Oracle offer, and there are tons of templates, vendor specific templates. Like we have one pre-built template for retail industry. Template means we implement the same solution for 5-6 customers. Now we ready-made template. So we have a pre-built template for retail industry. Similarly, many vendors like Deloitte, KPMG, they have a tons of template. Deloitte have a beautiful template for WBT called Wholesale Banking Technology. They're specialized. They have a beautiful template, ready-made template for investment banking. Correct. Template means business specific solution. What we are talking about, the one I marked with red color, ready-made product, buy, use it. And this is called EPBCS or Enterprise Planning Module, EPBCS or Planning Module. So what EPBCS is the same thing, right? But it's a pre-packaged solution. Planning modules. The planning modules are ready-made solution. To build this ready-made solution, we need to know the business first. Okay. I mean, this is very complicated. Even workforce planning, it's itself an ocean. You spend your entire life, this is not going to end up. Capital X planning is so massive, huge, industry-specific solution. So, two kind of problem we're going to solve. This is a complete problem statement. Correct. We split this problem. Option one, as an architect, this is my decision, right? As an architect. At the end of the day, my job is to make sure I'm delivering solution to the customer. I can offer the solution to my customer as one application called custom solution, or I can provide a pre-packaged solution to the customer. Obviously, pre-packaged means this I can implement 12 weeks implementation plan. Right. So this is what I strongly believe. And this is what I learned after so many years of working, or rather so many failures. To be working, I mean, as Oracle EPM consultant, the first skill, EPM consultant, and let's say more precisely to Oracle planning. The first skill you need to think like a planner. The first skill, not think like a developer, like a planner, right? Or budget man. Think like a business user. Other way, right? Business user. Correct. That's what that's how I make you think in that way. I want to run through one case over here for travel expense planning. We'll take one problem statement and right from the first day till the end of our training, we'll solve one problem. Okay. So 30 more seconds. Planning and budgeting, you already know. And you have been doing this job from since you started earning money. So your financial statement, your bank statement, you can read your grocery bill, you can read your EMI statement, you can read your electricity bill. 50% planning you already know. And the same example, we'll take it to build the entire solution. Okay. We're running short of time. I like to stop here and open for your question. If you have any, go ahead. Prerequisite is for this course, there are two kind of possibilities. As I mentioned over here, if you're at the beginning of your career, probably I don't suggest a fresher. This training is not for fresher guy. Minimum 3 years of experience. If you're 2 to 3 years of experience, you'll be working at this layer 2 to 3 years. Then you will be working more on the technical part of it. Then you should go for a course. There's a course for H5P 01. 01 is a suggested course for you. If you're above this graph, go for H5P 01 course, which consists of S-base and planning. Okay. Or rather, I use around 5 to 7 year experience. bar represent 2 to 3. This probably is more than 5 years, less than 5 years, and more than 5 years, like that. So start with H5 0.1. This course consists of S-base and planning. S-base plus planning. S-base is more technical part of it. But if you are experienced, more than 5 years of experience, you ever work into ERP product, or you're coming from Oracle EPM on-premise solution, and you fall another area which I marked with green color, you can start this course directly. Okay, so you don't need to, I mean, obviously, if you are more than 5 years of experience, you have a basic understanding about data, you have basic understanding of ERP, basic, right? You know how to use Excel, that basic knowledge we are expecting. So not specific high-end prerequisite. And in fact, we provide you planning and budgeting, foundation training in Excel, self-paced. Okay. So again, I said, please, same thing I'm repeating, it's not driven by S-space. You have experience on S-space or not experience. In that way, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about assess your own skill. If you're less than 5 years experience, then I would suggest you to go for 5 to HIP 101 course, which consists of S-based and planning. If you have experience in ERP on premise, then you can go for this course directly. And we can in turn discuss one-to-one basis and beyond that.
Right.
Precisely, I can give you advice based on your own experience and past experience. Any more question?
Hi, Amit. This is Sandeep. I would like to know, since we are using this PBCS and EPBCS for very, very long years, I mean, in the future, is there any AI adaptability like that from the Oracle down the line from 5 years?
It's already there.
Not exactly, I get your question.
I mean, so now we are using planning and budgeting tool,
Right.
and down the line, after 5 years down the line, is there any replacement of AI or like that in the future, or how it is, or it will be like EPBs only?
Obviously, this is I am talking about it based on my experience. I don't claim this is 100% correct. So I'm working with some of the initiative with Oracle as well for AI. All the manual job which can be driven doesn't require a lot of intelligence will push to AI inevitably. But since in accounting job is more human driven, it can never be 100% AI. It's a human driven. Human intelligence supersede that. So there are a lot of financial adjustment we do. There are a lot of things which is driven by human sentiments, market condition. Those job will continue to be doing in planning. Okay. And second part of this, as I said, I am working into some AI initiative. As we proceed further, I'll talk about this. In fact, one use case we already built. Right now, we are running planning and budgeting process over WhatsApp. WhatsApp, we did that. It's a real application started into production. So this this AI initiative is a vast topic to discuss. What may happen in future, we do not know. No one can predict. But one thing is sure, as long as you know business processes, AI comes and goes, it is not going to impact your career to the greatest extent. But if you are always working a floor sweeping job, you're not, I mean, you are so robotic job you're doing it. Job is a burden for you. It's just a way of making money. You come to office, do some entry, and you go. If you're doing this kind of job, the demise of your career is inevitable. You love this AI impacts, but it won't replace your job as long as you are trained in business and technology both.
Thank you.
Where you can find, probably if you register for the course, you would be getting an email from us where you can find as business planning video. My team will guide you through. Uh, if you have registered for the course, you might have got it. If you register for the course and you haven't received it yet, probably I'll do it after the class. I'll send across to you.
Yeah, Amit, can you please check the chat box?
Again?
Can you please check the chat box, right?
Okay. All right, so we are stopping here, and if you still have question,
Yeah,
drop.
actually, there is one question in the chat that one of our friend requested a question in the chat.
Uh, actually, I have to hop on another meeting. What we can do it. If you have technical question, if it's not so urgent, probably we can discuss tomorrow. If something important, you can mail across to me or put me on a chat window. Okay. I have a month closing meeting in another 20 minutes. I have to hop on for that. Okay. There's one question. I like to take it quickly. So you will have access to Google Drive, okay, where there are a lot of videos, case studies, learning material, documentation, everything we put into. Okay, so you don't have to make a note of it. For example, when you start EPBCS, there are different modules. Right after class, I'll share across these videos. Okay, so all the videos are available in this Google Drive. You will have access to that, and followed by each class, I send across class notes, documentation, user stories, Excel videos, all those stuff I'll be sending across to you right after each class. I mean, you might have received this right after the demo class. There's a recorded video. Similarly, we prepared tons of case study videos over here. So documentation, on-premise video in case you have a migration project, the on-premise video, cloud videos, customization, what we did, what problem we solved. The case study, I'll give it to you, the homeworks. The first homework we'll start with Tata Motors case study, the case study video, the solution of it, custom videos, all metadata. I mean, to configure application automation, data integration, and the videos are over here, which I keep on, giving right after each class. I send you one email with the link of the videos and the homework or the case study. You're supposed to do that. Okay. So we'll take care of the job. Right after the class, we'll send those content. All these case study video, you might have received it, register for the course, and specific case after class, I send it as we proceed for the step by step. So you can go through them and review them after class as well. So excluding homework, you don't need to make a note of it. Okay, thank you very much. So we're dropping here and we continue talking about over here tomorrow as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.